Welcome back to Overtime Heroics. I'm Mason Shatwell, and joining me today is Zac Reardon, who will be competing at this year's IMAF European Championships. Zac, how are you, mate?
I'm all good. Thank you for having me on.
Pleasure's all mine. I wanted to ask, obviously, it's been a couple of months since you was last in the cage. How's your training been going during this time?
Yeah, it's been going good. Slowly chipping away. I've had a couple of shows mainly coming up that's fell through and stuff. So it's just staying active in the gym though, my team, and waiting for what's coming up, which is looking like the Europeans will be next now. So working towards that.
Talk to me about your last fight. Obviously, you got the win, but what was the experience like of being in the cage again? Because I know you've had quite a few. Well, you've had a few bouts by now.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the first time I stepped in the cage, I felt better than the second. The second time I just couldn't get going properly. I did get the win, but yeah, I just got caught in the feet. It was a very poor performance, but I managed to walk through it and then get a TQ on the second round.
100%. I know, obviously, one of the fights you have had hasn't gone your way, but how did you overcome the loss that you did suffer? How did that make you feel and make you want to prepare for the next bout?
Yeah, well, it was back last year now, and well, I knew going into that fight that I was against a tough boy from. He's not far down from me in the road and stuff, but I just tried my best to prepare for him. Knew he was going to come wrestling. It was a no headshot fight, so I knew heavy wrestling was going to be a thing. And then I got his back, and then I slipped off, and he got my back and choked me out. So since then, I've been putting all the wrestling work in, all the grappling. Like the gym I come from, the jiu-jitsu's none to the best, I guess, quality. Yeah. So I've just been chipping away and stuff like that, and improving as much as I can.
100%. And what I've noticed online from your social media pages, you have a lot of support from the people around you. How much does that mean to you to have everyone gathering around for you?
Yeah, the support's amazing. Like, I'm not a big ticket seller, but then the support I get online just makes up for it. Like, I probably sell about 30 tickets a fight, like, and then even like the crowd that's not there to support me end up supporting me. Like, so to have support like that, going in and out the cage, like, it just keeps me going every day and training even harder.
100%. I wanted to talk about the European Championships now. How did competing on this come about? How did the IMAFs become a thing for you?
Yeah, well, before COVID, I was meant to go out for the no headshot ones with Wales, and then lockdown and stuff happened, so I got cancelled. So then, like, I was gutted about that. So then, like, during lockdown, I was just like running, doing as much work as I can, and then they've opened applications again for this year, and then I put my name straight forward with hesitating, and then I got an email. I think it was in February, and saying I'd like you to be in the squad and stuff. So since then, I've been training with the squad, and it's been going great. Like, it's just a dream, really, and like, to represent your own country in probably the highest amateur level you can. Like, it's mental.
100%. And with obviously the European Championships taking place away from home, does that add any more pressure to yourself competing away from home?
I think it makes it better for me. Like, away from home, got no pressure of like, and like no stress on fight week, but like tickets and stuff. I just show up and fight, like, and I don't think anyone apart from the Italians are gonna have a home advantage here. So I think we're all in the fair ground there.
100%. After the IMAFs, what's next for you, depending how it goes?
Well, I'd love to win that IMAF gold medal, and then we'll just see what happens from there. Like, I think the Worlds will start next year, so hopefully I get chosen for the squad again for the Worlds. And then just the name of the IMAFs means so much in MMA. Like, you don't know what's going to come next after it. Like, it could be back on like the small local shows, or it could be like on like the amateur Cage Warriors cards. I guess you don't know what's going to happen.
100%. We've seen now with Cage Warriors, as you mentioned, they've been bringing the amateurs back and putting them on some of the big shows. As we've seen next weekend, they've got a show in Wales and they've got some amateur fighters competing on that. Is that something after the IMAFs you're hoping to do something like that?
Oh, 100%. Like, I fight an amateur on UFC Fight Pass. Like, one of the biggest platforms for MMA again. And in Cage Warriors is probably the biggest platform in European MMA. So it's one of them shows you want to get on and put your name out there, and that's how you get recognised.
100%. When you're going into these fights, what type of feelings do you have before? Because I've spoke to many fighters that some feel nerves, some feel excitement, some a bit of both. What's your emotional process going into the fights?
Fight day and everything, I'm literally the calmest person I know before fight. Like I don't get nervous that much. I get my nerves more of like as soon as my coach says like you're fighting in 4 weeks time, then my nerves hit me. The first week I know I'm fighting, I'm losing sleep at night. Like I'm thinking constantly about every outcome and stuff. Then when it gets to fight day, I'm so calm, and then the walkout then is just it gets me going. Like, and then when I step in the cage, if you like see me, I'm just like my opponents stare me down, just nice and calm. Like it's something I try in my best to do. Like the calmer you are, the better you're gonna perform. Like
100%. And a couple more things from me. What got you into the sport in the first place?
well, my stepdad was a pro MMA fighter, so I think back in 2017 he was doing a boxing class, and then I gave that a go. I was probably training once a week for the first year, and then that closed down that boxing gym, and then the only option then was MMA. So then I went into the MMA gym. My first ever session, I remember it was John Phillips' seminar. So I really enjoyed that, like because John Phillips is a stand and bang fighter. So it was more like because I've done boxing, it was more my style. And then since then, my wrestling's just been my bread and butter now. Like, and that's when I'm winning my fights. That's got me into MMA.
100%. I seen on your socials as well. You went over to watch a Bellator card a couple of months ago. What was that experience like going to a professional MMA show, one of the top ones in the world?
Oh, the Irish crowd's mental. That's all I can say. They got behind everyone their fighter, and then it's just so nice to see. Like in 2-3 years' time, that could be me like walking into the Bellator cage and everyone cheering your name. Like
100%. And last thing from me, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Thanks before we end today.
yeah, of course. I'd like to give a shout out to my two sponsors right now. It's helped me loads. The Halfways, Leslie, and then SRM Mechanics. They've helped me get the funding for this IMAFs and stuff. I'd like to give a shout out to my team Drag, just top level I can get right now. And I'd like to give another shout out then to Brett Johns, who also helps me out a lot when it comes to my MMA game.
100%. Well, Zac, it's been a pleasure. I wish you the best of luck at the European Championships, and I've got no doubt you'll be bringing back that gold.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.